It's time for Two Wild and Crazy Dads with your hosts, the Maestro and the Bronco. It's the show that talks about the important stuff in life. Let's start the show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Another episode of Two Wild and Crazy Dads. I forgot to
Five.
change the title, so I'm gonna have to do that after the show because this is actually not about food and recipes. This is about music.
Music.
So, music is such a broad genre. It's hard to pick a specific thing and just say, oh, we're going to talk about music. There's so many genres to pick from. There's so many eras and decades and shit. Like, you can't. This would be like a 7-hour episode if we just talked about everything. So we'll try to streamline this the best we can.
I got time.
Yeah. Oh, you got time tonight? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
For music, there's always time for music, right? So I guess we'll start off by asking what's your earliest memory you have, like, of something to do with music, like when you look back, like a song or a concert or something, like what's the one that you just the first memory you can think of?
Yeah, you want to know? Um, it's probably as a kid. Like I remember, my parents had a record player. I don't know if half the people know what that is, but she had like a there's a Mickey Christmas album and then a like Sesame Street album, and she'd play it for me all the time.
Did you have the Alvin and the Chipmunks cassette tape for Christmas?
No, no.
Christmas time is here, like an Alvin
You don't
song
even
or
want to
Armin
know what
Davis.
Christmas,
Oh man.
the Christmas ones I have. New Kids on the Block.
Oh, not surprised. So for me, a little different. My earliest musical memory was being at an Aerosmith concert with my
Oh,
mom and dad for 4th of July. And the only reason this stands out to me, the only reason I remember this concert, because I was little. My parents divorced when I was 5. So if I was there with them, I was young. But it was a 4th of July thing, and there were fireworks. And the fireworks, the way the wind was blowing that night, the little embers were coming down and landing on the beach. And like you had to watch because they would singe on your arm when they landed. And I just vaguely remember hearing Aerosmith, but mainly remember the fireworks, the embers falling.
do you remember the
So,
songs?
no, not really. Not enough to where I could give you a set list or anything, but you know what I mean? Like, I just have that memory, and it was at a Aerosmith concert. What was a song that you remember from your childhood that like you fucking loved back then, but now it's just like, oh my god, I can't hear this damn song again.
We're gonna fucking lose subscribers. No, it's actually a good song. The the original Lying When the Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I remember, and it's funny because these songs I don't look back at. I guess if I had to say one of the annoying songs, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the mid 80s, so most of the childhood I remember is the 90s. And there were a lot of really dumb, popular songs in the 90s. Like, I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan, so I fucking love Vanilla Ice Go Ninja, because it was made for the second Ninja Turtles movie. I love the La Vida Loca and Mambo Number 5 and shit like that because Barbie Girl, Tub Thumping, all those songs because they were Now that's what I call music, you know? That shit was all popular when I was a kid. But the music that I really connected to, not the corny songs that I loved back then that I can't stand now that my kids fucking love, these damn Who Let the Dogs Out and stuff. Like, oh no, why was I getting into that and singing it back then? I remember my dad was dating this lady, and she had like this 2-bedroom apartment. So whenever I go over to his house, I have room. But I remember my little CD player in that room. Lost Bronco here. My co-host just dipped off, so I'll finish the story. Uh, I remember being in this room. My dad had these big stacks. Okay, so I remember being like, I had this, other bedroom, whatever, and I had a little boombox CD player that had the 2 speakers, the little cassette tape thing in the front, and the CD player opened up, like a pizza box. And I remember my dad had these big, you remember the big CD racks, like that had like 50 damn CDs all stacked to the top. Like, thought the thing was going to tip over. Looks like I lost my co-host, or he fell asleep, one of the two. I'm pretty sure he's having Wi-Fi issues. Anyways, I always remember going and stealing CDs from my dad to go listen to in the bedroom, sneak them away and listen to them in the bedroom. And I remember Pink Floyd album, just because I thought the cover with the two like Easter Island heads looking at each other thing. I forget the name of the album, but I always remember seeing that one, not always listening to it, but seeing it all the time. And the other album that I remember really seeing, kind of listening to, was Led Zeppelin. The one with the little kid laying down naked, a bunch of them. I just remember as a kid, I was like, huh? Looking at the album, but I'm glad I listened to the music. But, all right. So, basically, you remember the big giant CD racks, right? With like 50 CDs, and my dad had like 5 of them all stacked next to each other, just filled to the top. And then next to it was just another big stack of CDs on top of the little thing next to them, whatever. There were 2 CDs that I would always steal and sneak to my room and put in that boombox. Grand Funk Railroad and the Best of the Doobie Brothers. And I would
Doobie Brothers.
jam, yes, I would jam out to China Grove and Blackwater, and I would jam out to Joy to the World and Locomotion. Like, those were like the first couple songs on both of those CDs, and I remember just listening to those CDs all the time. I would go take other ones, but those 2 were the 2 that I listened to the most. I don't know why. All right. Did you freeze again? We'll wait a second for him to come back. My dad influenced me big time on the music I listen to. A lot of classic rock stuff. If you go through the channel, you'll see there's a lot of older rock music, typically a lot of music from before I was born, being born in 86. In my opinion, the best music out there came out before I was born. I am a huge fan. Actually, I'd say my favorite band in ever, all time, period. It's got to be Led Zeppelin. I remember everywhere was just talking about how my old man's such a big influence to me on the music. Led Zeppelin, I said Led Zeppelin's my favorite band of all time, like, period, out of all of them. past, present, whatever, number one. And I also said that um, me being born in '86, all the best music came out before I was born, in my opinion. Like
Yeah, I agree
just
with that.
all
Yeah.
these decades later, the '90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s now, nothing has really matched that quality of music. So many of those songs are timeless. Like you can sing every word and it still pertains to today. Like there's not dated stuff in there like in some rap songs. Busting out my two-way, like sidekicking, who's sidekick? Who has a sidekick anymore? Remember those?
Yeah. It's supposed to be bringing us back.
Oh, I'm not surprised, but they're still going to be touchscreen and all that. It's not just like it
Yeah.
flips out to a keyboard. It's like, ooh, you have a swivel BlackBerry. Good for you. I didn't have one, obviously.
My mom loved the
Well,
BlackBerry.
so when you were a kid, you had a lot of cassette tapes, right?
Yeah.
You skipped the 8-track era, right?
Well, my parents had one, but it's so technically,
But
I don't know.
you primarily like your collection of music
Oh,
was cassette
cassettes.
tapes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. See, for me, I was there during the transitional phase. Like, I had a lot of cassette tapes. Like, I had one of those things you roll underneath, one of the things that you pull out the drawer, and it's just a whole bunch of them. I had those. I had bucket, like, plastic tote things full of them. But it
I
was,
used to like to do. I used to like to make mixtapes.
yeah, yeah. Dude, do you remember listening to the radio to make a mixtape and the song you want and having to sprint across the room to hit that record button because you don't want to just sit right next to the damn radio, but it's local radio, so there's commercials, there's ads, you're listening to the same thing over and over, all these poppy songs just to get to that one song you want. But once you got that mix, you didn't listen to any radio, nothing.
No.
That was the mix. And then you hear a song, you're like, oh man, I wish I had put that song on there. And then you got to get another tape, start over.
Yo.
Mix two, mix 3, mix 4, mix 5. By the time you got the whole radio thing recorded. Oh, those were the days.
I skipped the CD era. I never had a CD player.
Really?
I mean, in the
Man.
car, but not like a stereo.
Did you still have a tape player in your car?
Oh, well, yeah, it's old. That's why. It doesn't even work.
Oh man. Have you watched The Sunny yet where they go out of town and they get the U-Haul and all that?
I think so.
And they're riding around in the back with the wicker chairs and Charlie eats a pear and all that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the tape? You had the cassette tape that was stuck in there. It was just the one tape.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. Like you're driving down, just the one tape stuck in the thing just plays.
No, I gotta do Bluetooth.
Well, I remember cassettes. I remember the transition when CDs came out, and I remember getting for Christmas, and I was so excited. A little black Sony boombox that had the 2 speakers, had the lid that opened up with the CD thing, and the cassette thing in the front. And I used to, oh man, I had my whole thing of cassette tapes. I had my new CD collection that I was starting to get. I was excited, man. What was the first one that you got that was actually yours that you didn't take from your parents or whatever? Like, what was the first tape that was yours?
Either Bon Jovi or Def Leppard. Bon Jovi,
Nice.
Slippery When Wet. And I think
Nice.
Def Leppard, Realize. No, Astoria.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. See, for me, it was, believe it or not, I don't remember my first tapes because I got a lot of those like handed down to me. The first one that was for me, I got a CD with the CD player, and the first one was the Alan Jackson "Who I Am" CD. Hey, I love me some country back in the
No,
day.
I'm laughing because my first CD was Christina Aguilera.
If it makes you feel any better, uh, the there was the next CD I got, was the Batman Forever soundtrack.
I like that one.
I did too,
Is it the
man.
one
There was a
with R.
lot of really
Kelly?
good ones. Yeah,
Gotham
Fly
City?
Like an Eagle. The
Yeah,
one with Seal, Kiss from a Rose, Seal. That
yeah.
one was on there. Yeah. I don't. Was it R. Kelly? No, you're thinking of Seal, right?
Still
The
did
Kiss
Kiss from
from
a
a
Rose.
Rose.
Yeah,
Seal also did Fly Like an Eagle.
yeah.
I don't know
For
that he did
Space
it for
Jam.
that album, but he did.
For Space
There was
Jam.
some good. Yeah, that's what it was. There were some good songs on that album, man. I'm telling you. And then I don't remember. Oh, John Michael Montgomery. I'm telling you, man. I was a country boy. I had a lot of my cassettes were George Strait. A lot of the stuff
No,
now I
George
don't
Strait.
remember is country. A lot
I-
King George, absolutely.
yeah.
You can't talk about country music without talking about George Strait. Like he is. They call him King George for a reason. That man has what, like 70 something number one hits, 80 number one hits, something like that. It's insane. He's my favorite country. Him and Waylon. See, even country, the best music. Well, best country came out in the 90s. The 80s and the 90s as the best country music, hands down.
90s.
80s and late 80s and 90s, like basically from when I was born on.
Like the Judds.
Yeah, and like Merle Haggard and George Strait was kicking them out all the way back into what, the 70s, late 70s.
George
There was a
Jones.
lot of George Jones, Hank Williams Jr., Conway Twitty. Those are all older stuff, but man, the 90s country, Tracy Byrd, Tracy Lawrence, Alan Jackson, George Strait, Toby Keith,
Garth.
Garth. Garth was, he has really good songs, but I don't really care for him. He just always seemed like, I don't know, too look at me, too flashy.
I saw him once.
Like Dusty Rhodes and George Strait's Pure Country movie. Like he
I
was
never
the
seen him.
flashy. Oh man, it's such a good movie.
I've seen 8 Seconds though.
That's a good movie too. I remember that one, but that's not about music. It's about bull riding, and that's what, Luke Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
La Bamba.
Pure Country. George Strait plays a country singer that gets too flashy and then goes back to his roots.
Is he a good actor?
For that role, yeah. He did very well in that role, in my opinion. Either way. Yeah. Since we talked about Batman Forever, what's the best soundtrack?
Space Jam.
Really?
I liked it. I mean, and then there's Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump has got an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think I remember having the CD and I fucking burned I listened to it so many times that it was like skipping, was the Armageddon soundtrack.
That's a good one too.
It's got Bob Seger, it's got ZZ Top, it's got Aerosmith, it's got a lot of good stuff on there. Johnny Mitchell, like, or no. Yeah, no. Who sings damn Jet Plane? Anyways, a lot of good stuff on that one. But I gotta give credit where it's due. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy movies have the best soundtracks now.
I've never
Because
seen any of those movies.
what? You know
No.
what? The old Chris Pratt as Star Lord, whatever, Peter Quill, whatever. He's got to be like out of all the Marvel stuff, he's probably my favorite because he was born on Earth and then taken away when he was a kid. But like his mom made him these mix tapes, and it's all like those awesome songs. Come and Get Your Love, Hooked on a Feeling. You know, just so many like great feel good songs. Brandy, like all those, man. It's you should at least, if you're not gonna watch the movies, at least check out those soundtracks because all three of them have some good soundtracks. It's all like older music, good music.
That's what I'll play at the gym tomorrow.
Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. That's where I got a lot of those songs that we were doing. That's when we were doing Hooked on a Feeling, Come and Get Your Love, Brandy. That was all from that soundtrack. Mr. Blue Sky. Those are from those movies. What's the other one they have? My Sweet Lord. But dang Beatles get blocked on YouTube. Such a shame.
Way to go, Ringo.
I don't even know that it's Ringo. It's probably Yoko. I don't know. I wonder if Paul McCartney. I wonder if a Paul McCartney song would get through, like a Wings song.
Yeah,
Live and Let Die.
Bad on the Road.
Oh, I was saying Live and Let Die.
That too.
See, we could just do that one, and then if it fails, like it doesn't work, we'll just do the Guns N' Roses version of it. Live and Let Die. All right, so let's talk. Since I just mentioned them, let's talk about covers. What do you think? Who's got the best cover?
I'm surprised I haven't been kicked off yet. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston.
I give you that. Whitney fucking powerhouse that Dolly song. Like, don't get me wrong. Dolly's Dolly. Mad respect to Dolly. You know. I love her. I love her music. I love her voice. But that song had to have been that song was like written for Whitney Houston.
The original's like too slow. It's like she's crying.
Yeah. Well, it's for me. It's that drum, boom, like the big note, that one drum, boom, and then that big note she hits. Like I don't know, man.
The Bodyguard had the good soundtrack.
It does. It does. I think you're right though with Forrest Gump, man. That's such a good soundtrack. That's one that I would always take from my mom's selection. All right, so see, both of my parents heavily influenced me on my music, but my dad had a little bit more of an influence because I liked his music a lot more than my mom's. See, I definitely, as I got older, have a different appreciation for the stuff my mom likes. Like my mom was, REO Speedwagon, Bon Jovi, that kind of stuff. But my dad was Led Zeppelin, CCR, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, like that kind of stuff, like the really good stuff.
I usually didn't mess with my mom's shit, but she would let me listen to on cassette Cheap Trick live at Budokan. I played that tape so many times.
Yeah, seeing my mom, she would listen to like the hair bands and stuff like that. And I like that stuff now. But my dad had more Van Halen and Motley Crue, and those are the hair bands that I really like. I don't know. She was a big Seeger fan. I like Seeger, but you know, he's no plant. He's no
I hope my
waters.
dad's
He's
not
no
watching, but my dad used to,
herbivore.
when he was drunk, always play Leonard Skinner.
See, I love Leonard Skinner. I've always loved Leonard Skinner, and I feel connected to them because they're from the good old FLA where I'm at, Florida. A lot of people think they're from Alabama.
Yeah.
The song's not even, it's a political song. People don't even realize that. But you're from Jacksonville, Florida.
I think all we have
And
is John Denver and the Fray.
we also, we got Tom Petty.
Oh, he went.
Tom Petty is from Gainesville, Florida. Ugh, Gators. Go Noles. He's from Gainesville, and Leonard Skinner's from Jacksonville. The Van Zant brothers. And we got Pitbull, too. Honestly, I think some of the best musicians come from across the pond. You got so many great bands that started over in England. I mean, Floyd for one. The
Beatles.
Got to give homage to the Beatles. There's a lot of these musicians out there that you just love their music, and you listen to them and you sing along, and then you hear them talk and you're like, wait, they're from England? They're British?
Elton John.
Well, yeah, like all the time I grew up listening to Rolling Stones, or not Rolling totally. Yeah, I mean, for one, would you have ever thought AC/DC was from Australia?
No,
He froze, I guess. Well, I'll take this opportunity to switch my earbuds because my headphones were dying. I thought they were fully charged. For me, as far as some covers go, I think Metallica did a really good cover on Turn the Page. It's an entirely different style. It's, it's not the slower live version that Bob Seger did. It's a very much more powerful. I mean, Metallica is Metallica, right? Obviously, I also think another great. Welcome back.
sorry.
Again.
That's what I get for living in Little House on the Prairie.
I can't hear. Hang on. My headphones had died. And I put my other ones on. But I'm not getting any sound through them.
Nothing?
Now I can. Somehow they got muted again.
That's weird.
Yeah. Either way, we're good. I carried on with covers, and I mentioned Turn the Page. In my opinion, I think it's an excellent cover, but I think the reason it's so good is because it's a totally different style. It's much heavier. It's like they took a great song and then they just made a great, really heavy version of it.
So you prefer their version over Bob Seger?
Absolutely not. I like them each in their own respect. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Yeah. If I'm in one of those like moods, Metallica. But if I'm in just like that vibe out. Oh yeah, gotta go with Seeger. You know, a lot of these songs, like even the good covers, you still can't beat the original. Live and Let Die, same thing. Crazy, like much more powerful, energetic version. Live and Let Die picks up, yeah, I know, but it's still not GNR, you know. And then Wild Nights was, you know, it was a pretty good cover. You know, I'm not gonna lie, but I love Van Morrison. It's hard to go against the Van Man. You know, I I think some of his music is just absolutely beautiful. I love, like, there's nothing better than just kind of chilling and unwinding to Crazy Love, Stoned Me, Into the Mystic, um, you know, that kind of stuff. It just Tupelo Honey. Oh man, that's just some great music right there. Might have to do some Van Morrison songs in our little video show. Well, music videos. Uh, you know, it's funny. Like Van Morrison, I gotta give credit. I can't even say that I was really turned on to him and his music. I mean, I knew, you know, Moondance and Wild Nights and stuff, but getting into the deeper stuff and like the more sweet and beautiful songs like that, I got to give credit to a girl I dated. She was also very much into this kind of music. Welcome back again.
Sorry.
Let me just ask, what would you do if I was the one that kept freezing and dropping off?
Shit my pants.
Wait, I know exactly what you'd do. Hang on. You know what I'm doing too, don't you?
You know. Yo.
For those of you that don't get the reference, that would be in Wayne's World. Party time. Excellent.
Speaking of soundtracks, that was a good one.
Oh, absolutely.
Both of them.
Feed my Frankenstein. So I was telling our audience that we should probably do another Van Morrison song. And I say that just because, I mean, he's got some very beautiful songs. Into the Mystic, and It Stoned Me, Crazy Love, Tupelo Honey. I don't know that I'd want to do one of those though. I just love jamming out, or just those are like the kind of songs, you know, that kick back and relax. That's what
Like elevated
Morrison
music?
is. No, man, you know what I'm talking about. That, like, just sit back and I don't want to be standing in an elevator. This is like at home. Kids are in bed, sitting down in my chair, can relax, and then you play some good old Van Morrison.
Oh, yeah, he's a badass.
That's what I'm saying. Like Tupelo Honey, Into the Mystic, Stone Me,
Brown Eyed Girl.
Crazy Love. I'm talking about the slower songs. Brown Eyed Girl and Moondance, they're fun, but they're a little more upbeat. He's got some like pretty songs that are just like calm, sweet. Tupelo Honey, oh, beautiful song. Some good love songs out there. What's your favorite love song? And don't say Whitney Houston again.
Boys to Men. I'll make love to you.
Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. It is. But I got to go back to my boys, Skinner, a lesser known song called I Need You. and it's not even really. I mean, the lyrics are sweet. They're pretty. He's singing about being on the road and missing his woman, but it's a very, very good guitar song too. A lot of really good licks in that one. I think my love affair with music is mainly just guitar
Me
and
too.
drums. I love the drums, don't get me wrong, but with exception to Phil Collins, there's not a whole lot of songs that you can really get by with just a drum, you know? I mean, Don't Care Anymore, that's like all drums. A little bit of keyboard, you know. Dun, dun,
And like 5
dun,
words.
dun.
That's like the whole song.
I don't care anymore. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of lyrics in that. You can drag my name all over the place. I don't care. Oh,
The best
it's a
drum is
good one.
by him, but it's a different song. Coming in the air tonight.
That's just that one song, that one part, and then when he gets into it after that, the intro,
Yeah.
like, ooh, that's tough. I could play that. But of course, yeah, that part. But no, if we're going to talk about drummers, there's two that just stand out among the rest. Van Halen and Bonham.
I was gonna say Def Leppard.
Bonham. They got some good drums. They do. But Keith Moon, ooh man, that's a hell of
Oh
a dude right
yeah.
there. Keith Moon and John Bonham, I think, are probably two of the better drummers out there. Now, don't get me wrong. Was it Alex Van Halen, right? It's Alex, right? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean, to have a brother like Eddie, you kind of gotta develop a hell of a drum skill to keep up with a guitarist like that. But I mean, just listen to the instrumental talent that was brewing in the Van Halen Papa Balls. Let me tell you, success. When you have two brothers that can put out a sound like that, I mean, just think about, obviously all of the guitar and all of the Van Halen songs, but I mean, think about Hot for the Teacher and think about Panama and like, I mean, just I don't know, name one. Drums,
Shit.
guitar,
Ain't talking about love.
mm-hmm. Just everything. Like the guitar and the drums stand out more than anything in any of their songs until Sammy came along, and then you get a lot of keyboards. Not that Sammy's a big keyboard guy; it's just their style changed. In the
Yeah.
'80s had a lot of keyboard, a lot of keyboard because of the synthesized sound that a lot of them had. See, that's where I kind of mm, like I know the songs like Jenny and Wham and like Culture Club and the Eurythmics and all of those bands. Like I know all of those, but that's the kind of stuff that like my mom listened to that never really like landed on any of my playlists.
Yeah. I
They're fun
wasn't big into.
songs. I know the songs. They're fun songs, but they're not my style. It's like the 80s versions of La Vida Loca and Who Let the Dogs Out, all of that stuff. You know, it was good then. It was popular while it was out.
It
But
lasted a minute.
it did. And the 80s keep coming back. And, everybody knows the 8675389. Everybody knows that. That's a phone number that will forever live in infamy. People can't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you my wife's phone number off the top of my head right now, but I know that song.
Me either.
I know Jenny. I know Jenny's number. I got it.
I want your name on the wall.
I got it for a good time. For a good time. Come. Yeah. That one. Like I said, some of the others, Soft Cell. There's a lot of '80s like one-hit wonder bands, but it's just not my style. That's not the sound. I didn't connect to the keyboard. I connected to the guitar and the drums.
Yeah, it was from guitar for me.
Now, don't get
Slash.
me wrong. Yeah, Slash. Jimmy Page. Jimmy and Eddie. Well, Jimmy, and Eddie. I don't know. I'm a big Hendrix fan. I really love his sound too. Jimmy's and Eddie. That's what really got me there.
Lindsey Buckingham. My mom was really big into Fleetwood Mac.
So was mine. And I have grown to have a big appreciation for them. And Lindsey was a hell of a guitarist. He's a very technical guitarist, very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't think of the word off top. But you can't talk about great guitarists without paying homage to a lady that I think is probably one of the best guitarists ever. You know who I'm talking about?
One of the Heart.
The lovely Nancy Wilson.
Yeah.
That woman can play a guitar better than majority of the men to ever pick one up. I know Jimmy's and Eddie, they have some very, very good talent, but you can't leave her out of that conversation.
Barracuda. Magic Man.
Name somebody, name any guitarist that can play an acoustic guitar like Nancy Wilson does at the beginning of Crazy on You.
That's a good one too.
That's an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I have never seen anybody play one with that kind of talent, and just like to watch that live, holy shit, man. Like watching her play that live was like from the old concerts, not like now at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the old concerts, man, just impressive. We're not worthy, Now, speaking of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, what's your opinion on all these non-rock and roll, like on them inducting hip hop artists?
No, because rock and roll is a different genre itself.
It is. Now,
Like
I will say that a lot of hip hop has, kind of crossed with rock. And a lot of, like Linkin Park, the Beastie Boys.
oh yeah, that's true.
Like, would you count the Beastie? They're inducted. Do you think they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Would you not consider them to be hip hop?
Yeah. A little bit of everything now.
Yeah. I think Run DMC was a good induction.
Yeah.
I don't see how, and not by any means am I discrediting him as an artist, but I don't understand how LL Cool J and NWA or even Eminem, like I can kind of get Eminem because he's done a lot of rock samples, like Life's Been Good to Me So Far. He sampled that in one of his albums. Obviously, Steve Miller, Abracadabra. He's done others that I'm drawing a blank on.
He sampled Dream On.
Dream On. That's right. That's right. There's just a lot of, there's a lot of his popular songs where he did, but he's a rapper. I don't know if he needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
As much as I like NWA, I don't agree with that either.
I love them. I love their music. I love them. I love Eminem. I love LL Cool J. I have a deep appreciation for them in the hip hop game. Like, they're some of the best to ever do it. But
not rock.
Just because you do a song with Aerosmith doesn't mean Run DMC deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Like, I mean, if you're going off of sales and stuff, I mean, why isn't George Strait in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because he's at the Grand Ole Opry. He's inducted into Nashville Hall of Fame. Like, country, they don't need a Hall of Fame like rock and roll does, because they're forever, in Nashville.
But what about artists like Post Malone and, I guess, Jelly Roll? Like, are they both?
I would consider them pop. I would not consider 90%, if not more, of what is called country since 2000.
Yeah.
I would say it's not country, it's pop. It's pop with a twang. That's all it is. You took a pop song and added a twang to it. Luke Bryan.
No.
You might drive tractors and have a deep country accent and sing about drinking beer and stuff, but your music is pop. Sorry, bro.
Keith Urban?
Kenny turned pop. Keith turned pop.
Yeah.
Rascal Flatts have always been pop. Brad Paisley went pop.
Oh, I forgot.
He started out country.
Yeah.
We Danced. Oh, man, that's a beautiful country song. That is 100% country. That's got 90s country written all over it. I'm Gonna Miss Her, 90s country.
Mud on the Tires.
Getting into celebrity. Yeah, Mud on the Tires. Oh, man, that's a great song. Then you get into, like, celebrity and
online.
Alcohol online. Yeah, those you're starting to get into the pop. Sorry, Brad. They like to dance that line, and some of them get their start in the country scene and then go mainstream. Taylor, and that's the only time she'll be mentioned. Sorry, we're not the NFL. Going back, concerts, best concerts you ever been to. Not just the band, the experience. Like, the best concert going experience, the music, the tailgating, the venue, the weather, everything all together. Like, just that concert that you'll never forget.
It'd be the one I just went to, Jelly Roll and Post Malone.
Really?
But then I've also, I shouldn't admit this, like, the first concert I ever went to was New Kids on the Block, so... And then I saw Bon Jovi with my mom, so that was pretty cool. Actually, I lied. Bob Seger, because I went with my mom, my brother, and my sister. It's the only thing we ever did all together.
See, for me, I've seen a lot of really good concerts. I've seen, Bad Company, Van Halen with David Lee Roth. I've seen Sammy solo. I've seen CCR. I've seen Styx, Foreigner. Tom Petty is in my top 3 out of my concert going experiences, as is George Strait. But number one concert experience when Tom Petty, when I saw him, Steve Winwood opened for him. That was a really good concert. Number two. Number three was George Strait. Cheryl Crow opened for him, but it was just great to see him. I've seen Toby, I've seen Kenny, I've seen Brad, I've seen Alan, I've seen hell, I've even seen Ludacris. I've seen that was a free concert after a baseball game. But out of all the concerts I've seen, the best experience that I have been to was Steve Miller Band. And I remember that day. I was in my 20s. It was me and my buddy and my dad and my stepmom. We were just hanging out by the pool, having a casual day, Memorial Day weekend, drinking some beer, hanging out, just easy day. And we're like, it was a Sunday. Nobody had to work the next day. We're like, hey, there's a concert at the amphitheater. My dad's looking at it and he's like, oh, Steve Miller, Joe Cocker's opening. You guys want to go? We're like, yeah. So he just bloop, bloop, bought the tickets and we went. Just random, spur of the moment day of. We had lawn seats. We stopped at the grocery store, got subs, got drinks, got all this stuff, had a great tailgate. We were drinking beer. We had good food, a lot of cool people. The weather was actually really nice for May in Florida. And Joe Cocker opened for them, and then Steve Miller came on, and they both just put on an amazing show. They both sounded great. The songs were great. It was just a fun night. It was a great experience. And he froze again. Now, since he froze, I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of concerts, but there's one musician that brings an A game when it comes to tailgating. And let me tell you, I'm sure if you're watching, you already know the name that's about to come out of my mouth. There is no better tailgating experience than going to a Jimmy Buffett concert.
That'd be a cool concert.
Jimmy puts on a great show. It's a lot of fun. Everybody knows all the songs. He plays his whole set list, his hit list, it's whatever. But the tailgating for a Jimmy Buffett concert is unparalleled. It is the most friendly, happy-go-lucky group of people you'll find. Everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time, singing, cheering along with each other, hanging out. Like it's an experience. It's better than the concert.
Was it a puff pass party?
No. There's a lot of margaritas and mixed drinks and beer and stuff like that. I've actually been to 4 Jimmy Buffett concerts, but only 2 of them where I actually went inside. The other 2, we just went tailgated with our friends, and then when they went to the concert, cool. We left. Because the fairgrounds, when they have a concert, parking's free. So we would go in and hang out with our friends that were going to the concert, have a blast, and then go home. A lot of people that don't have tickets will just sit out in the parking area and just keep hanging out and partying because they either don't have tickets or you can kind of hear it from the parking lot, but everybody's just playing it through their cars and stuff, speakers, like you're listening to Jimmy Buffett all the way. You just walk down towards the porta potties and you're going to hear like 5 different songs coming from different cars and speakers.
That's what my mom did. We have like an annual stampede, like during the end of June through 4th of July, and it's like a outdoor stadium. And we just moved out here, so we couldn't afford tickets to REO Speedwagon. So she just took us to like the little carnival, and she listened to it for free.
I saw REO Speedwagon live. That was a hell of a concert.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about that one?
No.
Dude, it was the craziest thing. So every year we have this thing down here called the Strawberry Festival, and it's just a big fair festival thing every year, and it's such a big deal that you get a lot of artists like bands, musicians. Every day they have a concert. On Sundays they have two. That's where my grandma took me when I was a kid and saw George Strait there originally, but I don't remember that one. But I saw REO Speedwagon there, and we went into the fairgrounds, went to the concert place where the stage and the stands and everything are, and we sat there. We went through the whole concert. It was a great show. They put on a great show, and the whole day it had been overcast and dark, and it had rained earlier in the morning, so everything was kind of wet and muddy. The concert was at night. Um, it had stopped raining. It was like even sprinkling in the afternoon when we got there, but it had stopped raining just in time for the concert. Like all the seats were wet, everything from being rained on. Like you had to wipe it all down. And then they came on, they played their whole set, everything was great. And then right as they were about to walk off stage, it started to sprinkle a little bit. And then they came back out for their encore, and it's starting to rain pretty good now. And the encore song was Riding the Storm Out. It was so cool. Like of all the songs for them to close with, Riding the Storm Out. After we had just like sat through the only opening in that day with no rain. It was the coolest thing. Like that alone, that experience was fun. Every time he freezes, it's like when he blinks and it looks like he's fallen asleep or that he drifted off. Sleepy smile, dreaming about good dreams, music, concerts, all that fun stuff. Oh, you came back.
Yeah.
Every time I was just saying, can you hear me? Like when you freeze like that?
I can't hear you.
Okay, because like I was saying, every time that it freezes for you, it's just like your eyes are closed and you're grinning. Like it looks like you fell asleep and you're having a good dream. It's like he's dreaming about concerts. Oh man. Anything else you can think of? I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff and haven't barely even scratched the surface of music.
We can do it again next week.
We could. Maybe a little better planned out. Pick a decade
Connection.
or a decade or a
Yeah.
genre or something specific. I mean, hey, today's the general music episode. Okay, we'll start getting a little more fine tuned as the weeks go. We just got to figure out a genre, and you know what? I got it. I'll tell you backstage.
All right.
We still got about another minute to go. Anything you want to say before we end?
It's been fun. I like doing this.
I do too. And we got some pretty damn good music coming out for you this coming week. So be sure to check out, the channel. Don't forget to
Like, hit, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Or don't. Don't care. We're going to do this regardless of whether you're watching or not, whether you subscribe or not. But if you made it this far in, I think
Thank you.
Subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should subscribe. If you made it this far. But what was I saying? Concerts, music. Oh, yeah, next week. Yeah, we were saying goodbye. That's what it was.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Oh, yeah, check out this week. Good music coming. We'll see ya.